Hi, I'm Joan Carty, the President and CEO of HDF. Thank you for choosing HDF to guide you down the path to buying your first home. Since 1989, HDF has helped thousands of people to purchase their first home, with many of our clients purchasing in high-cost communities. HDF is a nonprofit organization, and our work is made possible by support from national organizations like NeighborWorks America and the Housing Partnership Network, and a host of other investor partners, including local and regional banks. This video will provide information about our counseling process, which is designed to help anyone who is looking to purchase their first home. Whether you're ready now, almost ready, or whether this is a long-term goal for you and your family, HDF can help. HDF also offers lending products designed to make home purchase more affordable, and you will hear more about those products today as well. Homeownership can offer stability, savings, a new level of connection to your community, and a host of other benefits. But buying a home can be complicated. Whatever your motivation, HDF is here to help you achieve your goal.
The first step towards home ownership with HDF is submitting a complete application. This application is designed to help our counselors understand your situation, develop your action plan, and determine your income eligibility for some of our loan programs. Since you are watching this orientation, I know that you've already completed this important first step. Congratulations, you are on your way. Some potential homebuyers may already be working with a realtor or a lender by the time they come to HDF. Others may have already found a property they would like to purchase or even made an offer, and some may be at the very beginning of the home buying process and just want to make a plan for how to achieve their goal. Wherever you are in the home buying process, right now, HDF can help. Some home buyers may move more quickly through the process than others, depending on their situation, but HDF welcomes all homeowners. After you've completed this orientation, you will be assigned to an HDF counselor who will review your file and work with you wherever you are in the process. Your counselor will determine your eligibility for HDF's programs and loan products, assess your mortgage readiness, develop a personalized action plan, provide individual counseling, whether in person, online, or over the phone, put together your loan package if you decide you would like to use one of HDF's loan programs. Please note that in order to use any of HDF's lending opportunities, you will need to have completed HDF's counseling and education programs. Your eligibility for HDF's programs depends on your first-time homebuyer status, your income, where you are buying, and other parameters depending on the programs for which you are applying. HDF counselors work with the information you supply to see if you are eligible for our loan products. However, eligibility is not the same as being approved for financing. Approvals for a loan happen later during the lending process, which we will talk about in the next section. For HDF's purposes, a first-time homebuyer is defined as someone who has never owned a home, received benefits of homeownership, or who has not owned a home in the past 3 years. Your mortgage readiness is an assessment of how ready you are to have a mortgage. The counselors look at your employment history, credit history, and your income and savings information, as well as other information to determine how much of a mortgage you will be able to afford. HDF looks at the same indicators that a bank looks at when deciding whether to make you a loan. As you learn more about the various criteria HDF uses to assess readiness, please keep in mind that HDF's counseling and education services are designed to help you become mortgage ready. So if something on this list stands out as a problem area for you, don't worry. HDF can work with you to develop an action plan that will help responsibly achieve your dream of home ownership. HDF, like most lenders, looks to see if you have at least 2 years of stable employment. Stable employment means that you were employed at the same job, the same employer, or in the same industry for at least 2 years without any gaps. If you have less than 2 years, your counselor will need to conduct an additional review. Your counselor will pull a 3-bureau credit report to review. they will pay particular attention to these sections. Credit scores. HDF is not credit score driven, but most lenders will generally look for a score of 660 or better. Scores are just one factor used to determine the risk of lending to you, since past payment history is an indicator of how you will pay in the future. Balances and limits. Your counselor will look at your credit card balances, particularly your balances that are near the limits or have ever exceeded the limits. If your credit card balance exceeds 30% of the limit, your overall credit score will be impacted. A trade line is an account that has been open, active, and paid on time for the past 12 months. Lenders generally look for 3 such accounts. Derogatory items and public records. Your counselor will take note of any negative events in your credit history. Collection accounts, late payments, past due amounts, tax liens, and judgments will all negatively impact your score. If any of these events appear on your credit report, we will require proof of payment and explanations for the event. If you have declared bankruptcy, been foreclosed, or had a short sale in the past, you will not be eligible to borrow from HDF until the stipulated time frames have elapsed. Using your credit report and information from your application, the counselor will determine your monthly debt. High debt can impact your credit score and reduce how much you can borrow for your home. Using the information you provided in your application, your counselor will calculate both your gross annual income and your gross monthly income. Your gross annual income is how much money you make in a year before taxes or paying any debts or expenses. It is used to determine the HDF loan products for which you are eligible. Your gross monthly income number is how much money you make in a month before taxes or paying any debts or expenses. This number is used to calculate your affordability ratio, a representation of how much of your income will be used to pay a mortgage. These figures are used to determine how large of a mortgage you can afford. The front-end ratio determines what percentage of your income should be obligated to housing. The back-end ratio determines what percentage of your income is obligated to debt and housing cost. Your counselor also looks at your savings. Your current savings or savings goal at the time you plan to purchase must be sufficient to pay the closing and transaction cost of buying a home. There are several types of costs associated with buying a home. The first and easiest cost to understand is the purchase price. This is the amount of money you are committing to pay for the home. In most cases, a large part of this will be covered by a mortgage loan. The rest will be paid through your down payment. Down payment. In most cases, when you make an offer, you will commit to contributing some portion of the total purchase price into the transaction. This indicates your intention and ability to buy the home and is referred to as an initial deposit or earnest money deposit. As a rule, this deposit is credited to your transaction at closing. The down payment is the amount that you contribute to the transaction and is usually represented as a percentage of the full purchase price. HDF requires that borrowers contribute 1% of the purchase price into the transaction using personal funds. Gift money can also be used towards closing costs. Down payment assistance programs such as HDF Smart Move Loan can be used to increase the amount of the down payment and avoid the need to pay additional monthly fees for mortgage insurance. Reserve funds. Reserve funds are liquid assets that you are required to have remaining in your bank or investment account after closing. These funds are meant to cover your basic living expenses if you face any financial setbacks down the road. Closing cost. Closing costs usually range from 4 to 7% of the mortgage amount and include the fees charged by lenders and third parties, including loan cost. Lenders' fees typically range from 1 to 2% of your loan, but can be as high as 5%. Lender fees can include underwriting, processing, recording, and notary fees. Escrow cost. Escrow accounts are established to pay taxes and insurance as they become due. Title insurance. Title fees are based on the value of the property being purchased. Insurance cost. Prior to closing the transaction, your lender will require you to select a home insurance provider. Usually, the first year's policy premium will be paid in full prior to the closing. The premium depends on the type of property and the insurance you are purchasing. If you choose to purchase a home in a flood zone, additional insurance will be required. Attorney fees. Your counselor will create a personalized action plan based on their assessment of your file. You will receive this plan and a copy of your credit report when the assessment is complete. Your next steps will vary based on your counselor's assessment of mortgage ready or not yet mortgage ready. If the counselor finds through the assessment that you are mortgage ready, you will receive instructions on how to contact your counselor to schedule an individual pre-purchase counseling session and a homebuyers education course. Individual counseling session. You will meet one-on-one with your counselor to discuss affordability and the next steps to buying a home in detail and as they apply to your particular situation and goals. At this meeting, you will also receive information on financing and loan options, including the guidance and paperwork you will need to apply for HDF loan products, should you choose. After your initial counseling session, it is expected that you will begin your home search process, if you've not already done so. Homebuyer education. Pre-purchase homebuyer education is required for all HDF home buyers. You can complete this training in person, in a classroom setting, or online. Please visit HDF's website for a complete listing of all upcoming classes or to take the 8-hour online course anytime. If you are purchasing a 2 to 4 family home, you will also need to participate in landlord training. If the counselor finds that there are still some barriers to mortgage readiness, you will receive a customized plan with suggestions to eliminate those barriers and information about classes and workshops that may benefit you. HDF and your counselor will continue to support you as you take steps to become mortgage ready. At this point, you are ready to begin the HDF lending process, should you desire to take advantage of our loan programs. Your counselor will have provided you with the HDF loan application and instructions, and you must complete at least one individual counseling session before your lending application is considered complete. Once you submit the complete loan package to your counselor, it will be packaged and sent to HDF lending staff for review. This loan application is separate from your counseling application and will be detailed in the next section. HDF offers a unique and exciting range of loan products designed to help you take the most sustainable and responsible direction towards home ownership. In order to apply for most of HDF's home loan products, you must be a first-time home buyer. This means that you can't have owned a home at any time in the past 3 years. You must be mortgage ready as determined by our counselors and income eligible, and remain income eligible up until the day you close. HDF income limits vary by county and are based on federal and state figures which change periodically. You must have completed at least one individual counseling session and attended an 8-hour home buyer education class and received a certificate of participation. These classes can be completed in person at HDF, online through eHome America or Framework, or through one of our partner agencies. For certain products, such as Smart Move down payment assistance loans, borrowers must use one of the HDF partner banks for their first mortgage. All home buyers who use one of HDF's loan products must also agree to attend post-purchase counseling periodically over the life of the loan. Once you have submitted a complete loan package to your HDF counselor, the lending department will process and underwrite your application. Underwriting is a systematic assessment of your financial state that helps to determine whether the loan you are applying for will be appropriate to your needs and abilities. Remember, counselors do not make lending decisions. Those are made by HDF's lending department and our loan committee. Eligibility for a loan program is not the same as being approved for a loan. HDF's underwriters will look at your savings and make sure you have sufficient funds to cover the 1% down payment, all closing costs, and have 2 months of mortgage payments in reserves by closing. If you are purchasing a 2 to 4 family home, you should have 4 months in reserve. HDF's underwriters will calculate your ratios using the information provided in your lending application. The front end and back end ratios should not exceed 33 and 41 respectively. That is, at least 33% of your gross monthly income should be able to go towards housing costs, and 41% of your gross monthly income can go towards housing plus monthly debt. It is possible that the bank may pull your credit up until the day of closing. The Smart Move program provides down payment assistance for 20% of the purchase price of a 1 to 4 family home that does not require rehab. It is a second mortgage at 3% interest for 20 years paid monthly. This loan eliminates the need for mortgage insurance, or PMI, which is an additional monthly fee charged if you purchase a home with less than 20% down. The Smart Move program has graduated fees for loans up to $40,000 and a flat fee of $2,500 for loans greater than $40,000. There is a spend down requirement of $25,000. In order to be eligible for the Smart Move loan, you must use one of HDF's partner banks for your first mortgage. LEAP is an HDF-originated mortgage for first-time homebuyers who wish to purchase and occupy a 2 to 4 family property. LEAP can be used for acquisition of new property. These funds can be used for the down payment or to cover closing costs. An approved LEAP attorney must be used and the borrower must be income eligible. LEAP may be combined with other HDF loan products depending upon borrower eligibility. Live Where You Work can be used if the borrower is eligible. In addition to providing financing, LEAP provides training and resources for new owner-occupant landlords. Live Where You Work is a closing cost assistance loan that is available to borrowers who are purchasing in the town or city where they work. Eligible borrowers cannot have more than $15,000 in savings, and their income cannot exceed 80% of the area median income. The income figures can change with funding cycles, and eligibility will be redetermined when you apply for financing. The fee for Live Where You Work is $750. This is an interest-free loan with no monthly payments, repaid on sale of the home, transfer of title, refinancing, or payoff of the first mortgage. Stamford Home is a City of Stamford program administered by HDF using funds from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. Borrowers must buy in Stamford and household income limits apply. The loan is for up to $20,000 with 0% interest and no monthly payments. The fee is $2,000. It must be repaid when the home is sold, transferred, or the first mortgage is paid off. The Cozy Home Loan is an HDF financing option available post-purchase for energy efficiency improvements. During your home search, you may not have to rule out homes that will need energy-efficient equipment or improvements if Cozy is available to you. Additional information is available on our website.
Thank you for watching today's video, and we hope the information that you've just heard helps you continue on the path to homeownership. On screen, you will find information about the next steps in our process. If you have any questions, our staff will be happy to help you understand where you stand and how to proceed. HDF is dedicated to giving all households and families the opportunity and access to affordable housing, and our team hopes to help you as you continue working toward your goal of buying your first home. Good luck.